Hi, welcome to our next video. We're going to carry on talking about expanding. We have learnt these skills in level 1, but this is important to get these mastered for level 2. So let's talk about quadratics again. A quadratic is an expression that has the highest power of 2. Our first example is a quadratic because it's got an x squared as our highest power. Our second example is also quadratic. Even though it's got a 3 out the front of the x squared, it's still got a highest power of x squared. Our third example is not a quadratic. It doesn't have an x squared in it. It's a linear function if you vaguely remember the mx plus or minus c rule. Our last example is not a quadratic. It does have an x squared in it, but the highest power is actually x to the power of 3, which makes it a cubic function. Right, with quadratics, we can see them in factored form where we have two brackets side by side, the first bracket's being multiplied by the second bracket, and we've learned how to expand them out into expanded form. Right, well in this video we're going to remind you how to do that. So let's get into example 1. Let's expand and simplify this expression. X minus 5 times x plus 7. So this is the way I like to teach it. X times x is x squared. X times this positive 7 makes positive 7x, so we write plus 7x. X times this negative 5 makes negative 5x, so we write down minus 5x. And this minus 5 times this positive 7, a minus times a positive makes a negative, so we write down negative 30, we write down subtract 35. Right, now when we simplify it, we've got the x squared by itself. There's no other terms there with an x squared in it. This plus 7x minus 5x leaves us with positive 2x, and this negative 35 can't be added to anything either. Okay, let's push on to example 2. Let's expand and simplify this expression. 2x plus 9 is being multiplied by 3x, take away 1. So let's multiply 2x times this 3x. 2 times 3 is 6, and x times x is x squared. So we get 6x squared. This 2x multiplied by this negative 1 gives us negative 2x. This 3x has been multiplied by the positive 9. We write down plus 27x. And this positive 9 has been multiplied by this negative 1, which is negative 9. So we're going to write down subtract 9. Now we simplify. The 6x squared is the only expression with an x squared in it. The minus 2x plus 27x is the same as going 27 minus 2x, which leaves us 25x. So we write down plus 25x. And the minus 9 subtract 9 is all by itself. Right, let's get into example 3. When we expand and simplify this function, please, I've had too many students make silly mistakes by just going x squared plus 25. But remember, this power of 2 means x minus 5 times another x minus 5. A squared means times by itself. So x minus 5 all squared is x minus 5 times x minus 5. Now we expand it as we've done. We go x times x is x squared. X times minus 5 is minus 5x. X times another minus 5 is minus 5x. And minus 5 times minus 5 is positive 25. When we simplify it, the minus 5x in the middle with the other minus 5x makes minus 10x. So we're left with x squared minus 10x plus 25. Now this function, try and get your head around the name, is called a perfect square. Right, our last example, expand and simplify this function, x plus 3 times x minus 3. So x times x is x squared, x times minus 3 is minus 3x, x times plus 3 is plus 3x, and plus 3 times a minus 3 makes minus 9. Now the minus 3x plus the 3x add to 0, so we're left with x squared minus 9. There's nothing in the middle because they add to 0. Now please try and get your head around this. It's called a difference of two squares. I can rewrite that if I need to as x squared minus 3 squared, because 3 squared is 9. Right, thanks very much for tuning in and watching this video.